Hello, beautiful soul. It's Julia here from quantumhealingjourney.ie, and today I want to talk to you about how unique quantum healing hypnosis experience is for everyone. And I want to do this by sharing a story of three clients of mine that came with a very, very similar issue, yet their healing experience was completely different. All three of these clients came to me because they were suffering from anxiety for many, many years. They felt like their entire life they were giving their power completely away by always doing things to please everyone around them. They didn't feel worthy enough to express their true identity. They're always mirroring people, and they didn't feel like they're able to, they felt stuck in life. They couldn't follow their true passion. They just didn't find courage to express themselves and be themselves. And they came to a point where they were suffocating and they really needed help to break through. So I will share with you each of the healing stories, how it went. Again, just to demonstrate how unique the experience is for everyone and how you can trust that whatever you will experience will be the most appropriate experience for you in order to receive healing and knowledge that you need at that particular time. Okay, so the first lady came because of the very issues that I just discussed, and her experience during the hypnosis was that she was shown a beautiful past life where she found herself being born to a very happy and very wealthy family. She owned a beautiful horse that she loved to ride on, and she just remembered this profound sense of freedom and happiness and peace. She married for love. She had two beautiful children. She had a wonderful relationship with her husband. She died of an old age, and it was just a beautiful, by the book past life. Literally no problems whatsoever. When we asked her higher self why she was shown this lifetime, it explained that they wanted her to realize that she doesn't have to associate herself so strongly with her current family. She felt in this life like a white sheep amongst the black sheep. She felt completely different from the rest of the family, and she was explained now that it is time for her to break free, to cut all emotional ties and all energetical ties with her current family. By the way, that doesn't mean that she will not speak to them again. It's just she wouldn't be affected anymore by their problems, and she wouldn't be, thrown into the usual drama that was going on in the house. So the higher self or the subconscious did that for her. She received a beautiful healing during her session, and she was encouraged to follow her passion. She started a big project. She had a very clear vision of what she wants to do. And during the session, she was encouraged to continue. She was praised for listening to her intuition, and that she will be very successful if she continues doing what she set herself to do. But as she started doing these things, she didn't feel the courage to really express herself. She was continuously doubting herself, and she just kept having this anxiety attacks whenever she tried to speak up and express herself. So after the session, she was able to break free. She got in touch with me a few months after her session, and she couldn't thank me enough. And by the way, it wasn't me, it was her that did all the healing. I was just a guide for her to allow it to happen. But she said her new business venture is going really well. She even found courage to speak in front of hundreds of people, which she said she would never be able to do before. And she was just booming. Everyone who knew her was commenting on how much more relaxed she seems to be and just beautiful. She felt like she's blooming. She also found herself in a new relationship, very loving and supporting partner. So she just felt like she definitely broke free from the old patterns, and she was excited about her future. The second client, again with a similar issues, her quantum healing hypnosis story was completely different. She wasn't shown a past life. She found herself in nature, and she was facing a dragon who tried to scare her, and she felt a lot of fear. But with my guidance, she asked the dragon, why is he trying to threaten her, and doesn't he remember how it felt when he was little and others were frightening him? And at that point the dragon just shrunk down in size, and he became a cute little puppy, and they were playing and chatting, and they were talking about fear, and there was quite a lot of wisdom shared. I actually wrote a blog about her experience. You can look it up on my website. It's called Remembering Who We Truly Are. So as this story continued, she found herself in a beautiful nature. She went into a cave where she met this old, wise female wizard who used very powerful white energy that radiated through her entire being, and she suddenly saw her true essence, how she looks like at a soul level. So she basically experienced her soul origin, who she truly is at her soul origin, and it was an unbelievable experience. I will never forget how I felt watching her and listening to how she was describing this experience. Her consciousness just expanded fully. She was able to connect to the nature, and she understood everything in the nature, and she felt incredibly powerful. She felt this deep sense of peace, love, and wisdom. And as she returned back to this cage after exploring how it felt to be in that state of consciousness, she met her soul family. She felt immense love and support from them, and the eldest came with a beautiful white shiny cloak, dressed her in this beautiful cloak, and they told her, this is who you truly are, this is who you truly are, remember who you are. And then they left, and after her then she received answers to all her questions from her higher self, healing for her body, and in fact she experienced ancestral healing. She was shown how the entire generations were affected by the very same issue, and she was told that she had the power to heal the entire generations from this issue, from this block, and that everyone in her family will notice difference. On a conscious level, they will not be able to pinpoint what's going on, but they'll just feel different in their essence. So that was wonderful. She wrote to me probably a month after her session, and she said she cannot find words to describe how different her life is now. She found courage to quit her job, which she was pushed into. She really didn't want to do what she was doing. She was very much pushed into it, and she was able to find courage in her to, face the dragon and break free. She felt liberated, super excited about her future. She felt her senses were fine-tuned, were so much stronger in terms of, like, when she would go for a walk, she could really connect with the birds, with the trees, with nature. Classical music would really accelerate her or raise her frequency. She just said she feels like a different person, very empowered, and again, she couldn't thank me enough for the gift of the experience. And again, I must say, it was her. Every time it's you who is healing yourself. Us as practitioners, we're just guides helping you to make it happen. Then the third story was a gentleman who felt trapped his entire life. He was always manifesting people around him who were completely using him, completely. He lost all his money. due to different women in his life that completely just used him. He described it, he felt like he was always surrounded by parasites and vampires, and he really felt like there was some kind of block around him or a curse, and he didn't want to live that way anymore. So in his hypnosis experience, he wasn't shown a past life or anything similar to that matter. He was shown different geometrical patterns. He was describing all kinds of shapes and colors and how it was changing in front of him, and he felt like there was a great significance to this sacred geometry. Even though consciously he couldn't understand what it was, he felt like he's receiving this massive download of some kind of information of wisdom or power. And throughout his session, he felt all kinds of different sensations in his body, almost like an electric current, and he would feel pressure here and there, and in his eyes, his chest. He felt like something was taken out of his stomach or belly area. Pressure on his hands. There was just always something going on. As he was describing this geometrical shapes, he would always interrupt and say, "Oh my goodness, I feel something here or there," and he was just very allowing, and he trusted that whatever was going on was for his highest good, and that he felt that, like, weight has been lifted and lifted, until he came to a point where he found himself in space, just as consciousness. He didn't feel like he had a body, but he felt his presence in space. And when I asked him, can he move to any direction, he said he can't, because every time he moved into whatever direction, this black wall appears in front of him, and it literally just moves to wherever he is. And he couldn't get through it, he couldn't do anything about it. So I explained to him that at some point of his existence, he agreed to this block, to this wall, to be limiting his existence, and now if he agreed, or if he felt it's time to let it go, he's able to do it. So he said, I'm ready to get rid of this wall. And what happened next was he felt a presence of a third party. He couldn't see exactly who it was or what it was, but he had an image or visual of like a megaphone being directed at this wall, and very high pitched sound. He mentioned 432 hertz frequency was being played on this wall or radiated towards this wall, and this was going on for almost 5 minutes. I kept saying, so what's happening now? And he said they're still playing the sound, and it feels like the wall is being frozen in time and space. Eventually he said, now they asked me to get a hammer and dismantle the wall. And he said, so I'm doing that. He just had a vision of this massive hammer, and as he pinched the wall, it just completely dissolved into powder. Just one hit was enough to dismantle the wall, because the sound already did whatever was necessary. So all it needed was a little lost my word. Anyway, the wall dismantled completely into powder or a dust, he said. I said, so what happens next? And he said, I need to summon a storm for rain to wash this dust away. So I said, pretty cool, let's do that. So he was explaining or describing how the clouds are approaching, and he could hear the thunder and all, and now he experienced this beautiful purifying rain that was clearing the dust away and was purifying his own energy field as well. Wonderful. I said, what happens next? And he said, now I'm in the middle of a sea, and I'm surrounded by 3 beautiful playful dolphins, and they're radiating, or they're making their dolphin sound. So I said, ask them, what is the purpose of this? And the message he received was that this external wall that was around him had an internal counterpart inside of his body. So what these dolphins were doing with their frequency, where they were getting rid of it, they were purifying his body, they were getting rid of this wall within as well. He really enjoyed this experience. He received how he suddenly knew or experienced how it feels to have a sense of complete freedom, joy, excitement, and playfulness, just as dolphins are, and he felt this is going to nourish him for the near future going forward. So again, it was an exceptional experience, and as he got in touch with me a few days later, he said he feels different, and he feels like it's time to move on in his life, and he was very grateful for the experience as well. So you see, these were 3 different people with very similar issue, very similar problem, yet their subconscious mind chose a very unique way how to deliver the healing and the knowledge required for them to break free and move on in their life. So if you are curious about what kind of story, what kind of experience you will have during quantum healing hypnosis session, I strongly encourage you to book your own session as soon as you can. I'm sure it'll be a profound experience. You can find a QHHT practitioner in your local area if you go to a website called DoloresCannon.com or Dolores Cannon with double N, QHHT.com, and you have practitioners listed there worldwide with additional information explaining exactly what how the technique works. And if you are in Ireland, or if you're visiting Ireland and you would like to book your session with me, you'll find me on my website called quantumhealingjourney.ie. And my name is Julia. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you the most amazing experience. It's so worth it. It's very safe. There are so many safety glitches inserted during the hypnosis technique that we use. It's always the same thing we say. It works like magic, yet the experience is very unique for everyone, and everyone experience whatever is the most appropriate thing or experience, or past life or healing, whatever is the most appropriate time and space to be in order to get healing and the knowledge, the wisdom required at that particular time. And if you would book more than just one session, each time it'll be a completely different experience, and you can explore and learn so much about yourself, about your past, and sometimes even about the future. Probable or possible future sometimes is revealed if the subconscious chooses to deliver that message to clients. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions whatsoever, leave me a comment, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Thanks so much again. Cheerio. Bye bye.